Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen came out in the UK in 1997. It was rarely mentioned at the time, and while I read plenty of articles later on in life on how it was a hidden gem of the PlayStation 1 era, I feel like in the UK it was as if it had been taken out on a boat and dropped in the ocean at the dead of night. Somehow we just missed it. But one fateful day, my brother came across it in the second-hand bin and duly brought it home, forever changing our brotherly squabbling mentality. I make no big secret that the game had a huge impact on my life. With the exception of this one, the series started a trend where I would play and my brother would watch. He was not a fan of the platform-style later ones, but because of this game, he wanted to know more, as did I, of the world Kain had made. So, Blood Omen, you are the nobleman Kain, who on leaving a tavern is ambushed and killed by a band of assassins. But in death you meet Mortanius, who offers you the chance for revenge. In doing so you return, now as a vampire, and the bloodlust that comes with it. But soon after getting your revenge, you realise your curse, and Mortanius tells you your death was more than just a random event. On your journey for the truth and a cure, you come across the 9 pillars of Nosgoth, each representing elements of the Nosgoth world. There you meet the ghost of Ariel, a powerful sorceress and guardian of the Pillar of Balance. Her death spread insanity in the Circle of 9, of which she was the leader. Ariel tells Kain he must kill the Circle of 9 before peace can be restored. After dealing with Ariel's lover, the man whose insanity over her death began the corruption, he moves on to Malik, a member of the Sarafan Inquisitors, vampire-slaying warrior priests. Malik had failed the Circle previously, and as a result had his soul tore out and fused into his armour. Cursed to serve the Circle as one of the 9 in his immortality. The battle ends in a draw, and Kain is forced to seek other options. An oracle warns him of the oncoming human war, and advises him he'll need to seek out an ally. Kain's journey then takes you to Vorador, who was the vampire that defeated Malik many centuries ago. Vorador welcomes Kain, offering his assistance, but recommends Kain embrace vampirism, and to not see it as a curse. He also warns Kain on interfering in the affairs of mankind. In Vorador, Kain sees what he may become if he does not cure his new vampiric life. This does not stop him pushing on, so while Vorador defeats Malik, Kain kills 2 more of the Circle of 9. This leads him to Azimuth the Planner, holder of a time-travelling device which Kain obtains after killing him. Kain now finds himself coerced by Ariel to get involved in mankind's war. This is a disaster for Kain, who aligned himself with the legions, getting thoroughly destroyed by the opposition of the Nemesis. Cornered and overwhelmed, Kain uses the time device to escape, sending him 50 years in the past. Kain now kills the leader of the Nemesis army before the war was even waged. This helps cause a paradox to undo the Legion's failure. But upon returning to the present, he realizes that the death of the king has started a great vampire purge in the new timeline. It is now you find out that the oracle that has guided you was Mobius, the time streamer, another member of the Circle of 9, who is now leading the genocide of vampire kind. Vorador is executed before Kain can kill Mobius. Now the last of his kind, Kain heads back to the Pillars. At the Pillars, Kain learns the greatest truth. The sorcerer that revived him, Mortanius, is one of the Circle of 9, and was responsible for killing Ariel, thus starting the corruption. This was all due to him being seduced by the dark entity. Kain then learns that Mortanius had him killed to use as a pawn to correct the imbalance. Mortanius kills the only other member of the Circle, and then succumbs to the full possession of the dark entity. After defeating what should be the last of the 9, Kain realizes he is in fact the last pillar. He took over from Ariel as the guardian of balance. His only cure for his vampire curse would be his death. And so you're left with a choice. Sacrifice yourself, end the vampiric curse, while also restoring the world of Nosgoth to peace and harmony, or as would become canon, damn the world, collapsing the pillars, and becoming the most powerful being ever, for now. At the time, it seemed a pretty self-contained story, and a brilliant tale of the man whose rebirth only led to torment as everyone used him. And in many ways, I don't blame Kain for choosing damnation. We at least could see both endings. The series as a whole becomes a sort of symbol of control, but for this game at least Kain has none. For no damnation, you get no Soul Reaver, or Raziel, and that is just as important for Kain as it is for us gamers.